So for some of you, this might be the third version of this video that you've seen. Sometimes it's good to do these things more than once. It's a learning process. All these things. The first time I went through the form, kind of got to the end, felt reasonably happy. Then I started learning it again, and you just go that little bit deeper. And you learn it again, and you go that little bit deeper. It's just gradually, just trying to get really into the sort of get down to the bone, as it were, if that's the analogy, or into the roots, depending on your preference. You know, let's see how we get on. So, what do we need to do to start with here? Well, there's a couple of little sort of warm-up exercises I like doing, okay, to sort of get us into our practice, and sort of open the body up and get them ready, get our legs and our hips, because it's a lot of it's going to be in the legs and a lot of it's going to be in the hips. It's got getting them ready for doing the different postures of the form. You notice there's some sort of movements where I'm sort of turning in and turning out. So we're going to do some exercises just to help encourage our body to start doing that. So first one, okay, we're going to be turning into the hip. So when I'm saying turning into the hip, I don't mean sort of just doing this, you know, because that's like the traditional sort of loosening up exercise you might have seen in all sorts of different areas and locations, this sort of twisting. And that's all about twisting the upper body more than twisting the hips. And we're going to have a lot of movement in our hips here. So let's have a look at that. Now, with any of these exercises, because I can't see what you're doing, I can't see the mistakes you may be making, I'll try and point out the areas where you should be operating and focusing, but listen to your own body, okay? So, to start off with then, with this exercise, we're going to start with our feet, just pointing straight forward, sort of this sort of slight, you know, shoulder width apart, okay? When I say shoulder width, I'm not talking here, I'm certainly not talking here. That's for if you're doing a Billy Duffy impersonation. Answer in the comments if you know who Billy Duffy is, but or you can just Google it and ignore it, it's fine. Okay, so slightly wider apart, and we're just going to drift all the way over to one leg, then drift all the way over to the other leg. Okay, and just feeling that weight just sinking in. Now we're not tilting, we're keeping the whole body upright. Okay, if our pelvis here were a tray with a load of cups balanced on it, we don't want those cups to fall over. Okay, now as we drift over, so let's do it this way. As we drift over onto here, I'm just going to turn in here into this hip, and then squaring up as I go past the middle, turning into this hip. Okay, and so just doing it nice and gently, not worrying about anything else, just doing that, just getting that movement, just feeling what that movement feels like. And then we can add another level to it. So we can just allow the arm to rise as we're going through. Okay, now we're trying not to twist across the body, just allowing it just to move. It's almost moving straight up. It's not going past the middle of our body, but it doesn't matter. So just doing this. And if you're finding this too exciting for words, I mean, goodness me, how could it get any better? Okay, you can maybe look at sort of speeding up. Now, if you do speed up, what you can do is just allow your arms to hang loose. Okay, because we're trying to relax our joints here. So they're just hanging loose and they can just swing. And the faster you're able to swing without hurting yourself, goodness me, we don't want to be hurting ourselves with this. It's supposed to be giving us health benefits, not injury. So you can then find your arms will just swing out. And they might feel really heavy actually if you've really released them. I'm not trying to just do this with my arms, I'm just allowing my arms to move. So if I stop at the end of each one, they'll kind of just sort of hang, and then they'll hang. Okay, so it's just trying to loosen up the shoulders. There's a lot of tension that we have in our shoulders. We're always sort of carrying things. Trying to loosen that off as well, but then turning into the hip. Okay, so it's just sinking onto that leg and turning into it. Just do that for a few minutes, okay? Or for a minute even, or a few seconds. It's not, don't want you sort of doing this all the way through. You could do it whilst watching the telly, maybe during an advert. If it's a long advert, do it during that. Something more interesting to do than just watching some soap powder commercial or some other thing. So that's the first of our warm-up exercises, okay, to get you started. This is just sort of warming us up, just getting those hips moving in the way that we want them to, okay? So we're turning into the hip. Next video, we'll open up the hip, okay? All this gets used quite early on in the form, so it's all good practice, okay? So thank you for watching. Since this is a sort of YouTube-y type video, please like, subscribe, hit the bell. I see all these things on other channels. My subscriber count isn't particularly high. Doesn't matter. That doesn't really bother me. I'm not doing this for the fame. I'm just thinking it would be a nice thing for everybody to learn. So like, subscribe, and all that good stuff. Hope to see you in the next video where we'll look at opening up those hips. Okay? And hopefully the sound's been better than the previous times I've uploaded this. So thanks for watching. Stay relaxed. See you next time.